My name is Michael Wilkinson. I'm the co-author of the Porsha Principles, and I get the pleasure of introducing you to our 9-part video series. In this overview video, Porsha will be covering 5 topics in particular. First,
hello, and thank you all for joining us for this series. I want to commend you for making the investment of time and money to learn ways to improve your relationship. For many of us, the relationship with our partner is one of the most, if not the most important relationship in our lives. When the relationship is going well, it can be the source of great joy and fulfillment. When it's not going well, it can be stressful, frustrating, and draining. My job, and I take it very seriously, is to help you discover strategies that you can use immediately to create and sustain your lifelong honeymoon. Let me start by introducing you to our fictional couple, Pam and Marcus, whom you will hear more about throughout this series. Like many couples, when Pam and Marcus first met, there was instant chemistry. In those early days of their relationship, Marcus frequently talked about how amazing Pam was. He had never met a woman who was so captivating. He just loved listening to her talk. Pam was equally smitten. While in the past, she had always chosen safe. But fast forward 5 years, and you would barely recognize them as the same couple. Pam's so-called Prince Charming seems to have changed. While they used to spend so much time together, now she finds herself having to negotiate time for date nights, time for sex, and especially time for him to do the little projects around the house. And yet she doesn't appreciate the good that he is doing. She is constantly pointing out his faults. What happened to that amazing woman he married? What happened to the honeymoon? Why can't it last? I think it can. While the story is fictional, it describes many of the couples that end up on my couch. 2 people who were deeply once in love find themselves in a place where the love seems to have dissipated. Over my career, I have been a catalyst to helping hundreds of couples disrupt their dysfunction, repair serious ruptures, manage their differences, and create and sustain a new vision for their relationship so they could get back on the path to living what I have come to call a lifelong honeymoon. It's real. The purpose of the Porsha Principles is to provide couples with key strategies that, if applied consistently in their relationship, will provide the foundation for creating and sustaining a lifelong honeymoon of love, joy, passion, support, and satisfaction. How do you do it? That's what the Porsha Principles are all about. These 8 principles can be your catalyst for getting your relationship back where you want it to be. Throughout this video series, I will use fictional couples and scenarios to introduce each of the principles and the related issues. I will then provide specific strategies to help prevent the issues, as well as intervention strategies to address the issues if they are happening in your relationship. But keep in mind that while the Porsha Principles can be a catalyst, you and your partner have to do the work. If you are ready, let's get started with what is a lifelong honeymoon and what causes it to end. Do you remember what it felt like when you and your partner went on your honeymoon? From time to time in this video series, I will ask you and your partner to take an intimate moment to truly connect. This is the first one. Let me give you instructions before you start. Decide which partner will go first. Think about a time in your relationship when you felt so great, so fulfilled, and so loved by your partner. If you are married, it may have been while on your honeymoon, or perhaps on vacation, or out to dinner, or while just spending some quiet time together. It may have been years ago, months ago, last week, or even last night. Once you have gathered your thoughts, take your partner's hand and describe that intimate moment. It might be helpful for you to use these prompts. I remember when. From thousands of hours working with couples in varying levels of crisis, I have developed the Porsha Principles. These 8 principles will guide you and your partner to having the kind of lifelong experiences that lead to hyper fulfillment and highly sustained enjoyment of one another. The principles do 3 powerful things. The principles provide proactive strategies. 1, let them know you, not your representative. Principle 2, cultivate intimacy at deeper levels. Principle 3, lift your partner every day. Principle 4, manage the differences with care and communication. Principle 5, avoid the fire starters. They can ignite a blaze. Principle 6, address conflict, resolve disagreements. Principle 7, repair the ruptures. They can ruin you. Principle 8, my favorite, profess, protect, and prioritize your relationship with your thoughts, words, and actions. Let's talk about your next steps. What are the principles do you most need to work on? To find out, you and your partner should take the principles assessment. A copy of the assessment is in your eBook, and there is also a free version on our website. Each of these 8 principles are vital to creating and sustaining the kind of relationship you and your partner both deserve. Someone who wants to get better at tennis doesn't get better by reading a book on tennis. You get better by practicing the new approaches and strategies. Likewise, your relationship won't improve by just learning about the Porsha Principles. You have to practice them. So do it. Do the various exercises that are included throughout the principles. Practice them with your partner, get feedback, and practice some more. It's through practicing the principles that you and your partner will master the skills necessary to create and sustain your lifelong honeymoon.